Hey everyone, this is Martin.
And I'm Shelley.
And we're down here on the place today doing some work up in the garden. And I realized the other day that we are, from the time we purchased this land down here, it's been about 2.5 years, but by the week, it's actually been 132, well, let's see, I think this week is 133 weeks that we've been down here, which doesn't sound too significant. Well, actually, maybe it does. Anyway, 133 weeks that we've been here. And this whole thing started out as raw land. I mean, it's just like raw trees and rocks, and that was it. And we've been working on this thing now for about 2.5 years. And, you know, this week, for the last 2 months, we've been working on a garden area. And this week, we finally reached the point where our beds are done, where the garden beds are done. And
except for I'm building a couple bigger, more garden over there.
Oh, okay. Well, this is something I don't even know about yet. So, anyway, part of the reason why we're talking to you about this today is that we came here with the intention of creating some self-sustainability here, or self-sufficiency. And how do you feel about it so far?
I really like it. I like the fact that when I build, things get done, and then I can put in my produce for having all the vegetables. And that really makes me happy, because I'd rather be picking my own than having to travel all the way up to get groceries all the time.
And have you been to a grocery store lately?
Ah.
Wow. So when we decided to do this, I mean, I don't care if they know how old we are. Do you?
Yeah.
We're old.
Yeah.
When we moved down here on this property, Shelley was 62, I was 60 years old. And so we were both in our 60s when we landed on the property down here. Right now I'm 63, she's 65.
Yeah.
Just turned 65 the other day. And so, you know, we want to give those of you that are out there thinking, am I too old? Or is it too late for me to get started on this? You know, it's really not. I suppose there's a point where it might be, if physically you've got issues that you just can't get out and do things. I've discovered that I'm a lot slower at things than I used to be. Doesn't seem to bother her too much.
Doesn't bother me any.
That's what she says. Anyway, we want to encourage you that if this kind of a life, if a self-sufficient kind of a life, building a cabin out in the woods or a homestead, or even, you know, we're mostly off grid here, if you're wanting to pursue that sort of a life or a lifestyle, that don't let anything stop you. It's to me, it's worth it. It's been absolutely wonderful being out here in nature and working on things and improving it, making it so you don't have to leave, go to the grocery store, spend all your money, all your retirement money or your hard-earned money at the grocery store all the time.
Yeah, and when you start out with raw land, that is nothing there. One of the advantages is you could put things in places that you want.
You know, if you're afraid that you don't have the knowledge or the skills to do any of this stuff on your own, don't even be afraid of that. YouTube has made it so that you can really learn almost anything that you need to learn, maybe shy of rocket science, but none of this down here is rocket science. It's all about just taking a day at a time and one step at a time, building one thing at a time, accomplishing one task at a time. And it's not that complicated or that difficult to do.
And you know, when we were doing this garden area, he was describing some things, and I didn't know where I wanted everything, but here's one thing that I think you need to know is, as you're doing it, you will get a vision of what it is that you want. Right away, we didn't have a vision for this garden. You know, it came, and I'm so glad that we did.
It started laying itself out as we started fencing in the perimeter of it and figuring out how big of a space it was going to be, and it's actually really big. I mean, the actual gardening part is only 13 garden beds, but but it's almost 3/4 of an acre right here that we've fenced in. And we plan to have a greenhouse in here. There's a storage container up here that takes up part of the space. But you don't have to go that big. You can go something much, much smaller. We're actually thinking about someday expanding this out to an orchard area, but that's going to be a year or two down the road here, I think.
Yeah. And I was going to say too, before I even done that, I used containers to grow my own food. So really, if you do that, you can get containers and put tomatoes in them and all that. And I'd done that because I was like, I want my own food. So I did that for a while, and then we moved, and now we're here, and I'm already liking it. I grew up with a mom and dad who raised me in gardening, and I mean, to me it's just a lifestyle. It's a fun lifestyle.
Yeah, and we encourage you. We've done some how-to videos on building projects and kind of how-to on what we've done here in the garden and how we built the beds and clean it out. So we encourage you to look at some of the other videos on the channel if you could. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, switch it to all so you get all of the updates that you get. We're at week number 133 down here. We used to call this place Camp Runamuck, but it's not so much Runamuck anymore. So anyway.
I like Campfire Trail.
Campfire Trail, yeah, that's where we're at.
Right.
We're actually sitting here right over a campfire right now.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.
All right, see ya.
If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like and a share, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell. See you next time.